She had married the billionaire thinking she'd have a charmed life. But the double life of her husband was more shocking than she thought. Living in the lap of luxury with opulent mansions and expensive cars was exciting. But learning about her husband's double life was devastating. She never suspected the bills paid by her husband were not from an ordinary job. So it was a shock to find he was actually leading a second life. The other life included lavish dinners with other women, expensive gifts, and stolen moments away from her. His secret misbehavior was shattering. She was careful not to confront him and instead began covertly investigating the cause of his duality. Volunteers, servants, and friends provided clues. Once the pieces of the puzzle were gathered, the awful truth became clear. The other life was fueled by drug sales, huge debts, and shady dealings. She confronted him with the evidence and he confessed to being a fraud but denied the drug dealings. But his deception had reached too far and he needed to run. With time running out, he offered her a cut of his money if she would flee with him. But the life she wanted was never part of the offer and she refused. She prayed to find a way to rebuild her life and protect her from his consequences. Suddenly, a well-known law firm reached out with a plan. Taking the offer was a chancy and difficult decision, but she accepted it. The law firm would hide assets, false assets, for a large fee. Things went as planned and the law firm secured the assets. Her husband had disappeared and she was safe from prosecution. The double life of her billionaire husband would now become her secret to protect. She pondered how quickly her wealth and life had been ripped away. What she longed for now was a plain and unassuming life that she could control and plan. She would have to freeze her assets to ensure her security. A small, rural town with its welcoming community offered everything she yearned for. She would be able to provide for her children and start over. The false assets in the hands of the law firm would give her a secure future. She relocated and followed a plan of frugality, solvency, and contentment. The people she'd once thought were her friends simply vanished in the confusion. It took her some time to adapt to the small-town environment. In time she found a routine that suited her and her children. It was peaceful, but sometimes she still felt a lingering fear of her former life returning. Without warning, her husband's life began to unravel and the ugly truth was revealed. Using her false assets and name, he had tried to cover up his crimes. This all came to light when the law firm started uncovering the layers of his deceit. She and her children were dragged into the dangerous situation. She had never felt so powerless as when she was called to testify against him. She had to protect her family and her resources, but she was now in danger. In a lonely motel room, she started planning and was prepared to testify. But, in a sudden twist, the police arrested her husband for fraud and blackmail. Suddenly, Her secrets were also revealed and people began judging her. But she held firm to the path of truth she had chosen for her family's future. Her husband in prison, she could finally put the horrifying double life behind her. Free of his abuse and manipulations, she began living a peaceful life. The double life of her billionaire husband was a great secret and a shocking ending. But she had faith in her strength and courage, and a rich future unfolded. She could not trust or believe in anyone ever again, but managed to start anew. A much-needed sense of safety and calmness slowly returned to her life.